Madden 23 is dropping soon in August, and trust me, the integrity will be back like never before on Ultimate Team with the 100% Steelers themed team. You can count on it. But in the meantime, EA is starting to drop ratings for the new game, and yesterday they started with the wide receivers and tight ends. So obviously I'm going to react to them, mostly the Steelers players, but also I have some overall takeaways as well. So without further ado, Madden 23 ratings. The disrespect starts now. To start off, let's just go over the top 10 receivers in Madden 23. Davante Adams at 99, Cooper Kupp 98, Tyreek Hill 97, DeAndre Hopkins 96, Stephon Diggs 95, Justin Jefferson 93, Mike Evans 92, Keenan Allen 91, Terry McLaurin 91, and Amari Cooper at a 90. How the hell is Cooper Kupp not 99 overall after the season that he had last year? When has anyone else on this list dropped the Triple Crown and then also win Super Bowl MVP in the same season? Don't forget that Triple Crown included almost 2,000 yards receiving. Let me just answer you this. None of them, ever. So Cooper Kupp should be a 99 overall. I mean, there should be really no debate to it. I can't believe these idiots at EA screwed this up. I'm fine with Davante Adams at a 99. Just don't have Cooper Kupp not at 99 as well. That's just ridiculous. Number 2 is there's a glaring name missing from the top 10 as well, and that's Ja'Marr Chase. They have him at an 87 overall. I think most can agree he's a top 3 receiver or a top 5 receiver at worst, especially after what he did in his rookie season. Offensive Rookie of the Year, was top 3 and 5 in like basically every receiver stat that's out there. So for EA to come to the conclusion that he's 87 overall, whatever their formula is, whatever their algorithm is that spits out these ratings, I can't believe they didn't take a step back and say, we have Ja'Marr Chase at an 87 overall. That's tied for 18th as best overall receiver. Maybe there's something wrong with our list. Maybe we should make some adjustments to make sure he's at least in the top 6 or 7. But no, they didn't do that and just threw out the ratings as is. That's EA for you. But moving on, the best rating they have for any Steelers receiver is Deontay Johnson at 85 overall, making him the 25th best receiver in the game. What's weird is Deontay made a Pro Bowl last year, which means he had a top 10 season amongst receivers, basically. So to see him at 25th seems a little disrespectful. But when you look at some of the names that Madden has listed above Deontay, it actually isn't that ridiculous. Let me list off some of these guys, and you let me know if Deontay is a definitive yes over any of them. CeeDee Lamb at an 85, Robert Woods at an 86, Mike Williams at an 86, Calvin Ridley at an 86, Ja'Marr Chase 87, Brandon Cooks 87, A.J. Brown 87, DJ Moore at an 88, Adam Thielen at an 88, Deebo Samuel 89, DK Metcalf 89, and then we get closer and closer to the top 10. You got Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett, then Michael Thomas. And like I said, it just leaves off at the top 10 right there. So there's really not one name. I mean, Calvin Ridley, he's going to be suspended for the season. Didn't play most of the season last year. He's an 86. So Deontay should probably be above him at least, but also CeeDee Lamb's an 85. So I think they kind of got Deontay's range right. Maybe he should be an 86 or an 87, but at the same time, not the end of the world. But here's where we start to get into some big problems. Let's go over the tight end ratings. The top 10 includes Travis Kelce, 98. George Kittle, 97. Mark Andrews, 93. Darren Waller, 91. TJ Hawkinson, an 89. Kyle Pitts, 87. Mike Gesicki, 86. Dallas Goedert, 85. Hunter Henry, 84. And Zach Ertz at an 84. Where they have Muth is at a 79 overall, which is tied for 18th amongst tight ends. And here are the 10 players they have rated above Muth. Austin Hooper, 79. CJ Uzomah at a 79, so they have the same overall rating, but they just have them ranked ahead of Muth for some reason. Robert Tonyan at an 80, David Njoku at an 80, Evan Ingram, 81, and then you get Noah Fant, 82, Dalton Schultz at an 82, Tyler Higbee at an 83, Dawson Knox at an 83. So where would I have Muth in relation to this group? I think you got to have him at the low 80s, because whenever you look at Austin Hooper, he has the same amount of touchdowns in the last 2 seasons versus what Muth put up just last year in his rookie season. And for context purposes, Muth's stats last year, 497 yards to almost 500, 60 receptions and 7 touchdowns. And then CJ Uzomah last year had 493 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's a career year for him. Still didn't live up to what Muth put up in his rookie season. Robert Tonyan last year had 204 yards, 2 touchdowns in 8 games. I get he had his best year 11 touchdowns in 2020, but that seems more like an outlier when you compare it to the rest of the seasons that he's put up in the NFL. And then David Njoku, just because the Browns gave him a ridiculous contract, that doesn't mean EA you have to justify it in his ratings. We're still waiting for this guy to break out. Last year, 475 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then Evan Ingram, last year, 408 yards, 3 touchdowns. Some people think he's more of a receiver than a tight end anyway. Definitively, I think you got to put Muth over those 5 guys that I just listed. And then you got Noah Fant, Dalton Schultz at 82, Tyler Higbee 83, Dawson Knox 83. Get him in that range. I think whether you put him at an 81, just rank him above Evan Ingram, or get him at an 82, because I think it's arguable whether or not Muth had a better season than Noah Fant last year. In a vacuum, some may look at the 79 overall rating for Muth and say, you know what, that's not that bad. I mean, he's only going into his second year. But whenever you look at some of the other guys that he's compared up against, I think it's disrespectful. I mean, you got to bump him up at least 2 or 3 overall ratings, and that could make all the difference in Madden. But next we have Claypool. Where they have him is actually worse than where they have Muth from my standpoint. 78 overall. Let me list off all these names that they have ahead of Claypool. Jarvis Landry at 83. Devontae Parker 82. Jerry Jeudy at 82. Marvin Jones Jr. at an 82. Robbie Anderson 82. Sterling Shepard at an 82. Brandon Ayuk 81. Kendrick Bourne at an 81. Nelson Aguilar and Juju at an 80. Sammy Watkins, 79. Elijah Moore, 79. Rondale Moore, 79. Kadarius Toney, 79. Corey Davis, 79. Tim Patrick at an 80. McCole Hardman at a 79. There's only like 2 or 3 players whose stats are remotely comparable to what Claypool put up last season. And that's not even including what Claypool did in his rookie season. Had like 870 yards and 11 total touchdowns. I know we have our qualms about Claypool as Steeler Nation, but I mean, he's better than all those receivers that I just listed off, in my opinion. So to have him in the low 80s would have been the bare minimum for common sense. Maybe even get him as high as an 84, because as I said, I think he's better than everyone I listed off. He's better than Jarvis Landry. But only EA can get us out here praising Claypool's last season. It's because the hate has gone too far. The disrespect has gone too far. Claypool is officially underrated. To have him at a 78 overall is actually flat out insulting. Now let me go over the rest of the Steelers receivers and tight ends real quick. Calvin Austin III, I like his rating, the 9th fastest receiver in the game, and his acceleration's at a 96. Anthony Miller at a 74 overall. I'm not against it. It might just be a little bit too high considering he really didn't play last season, and what he did with the Texans wasn't really anything to write home about. But whatever, I'll take it. I guess they're giving him some respect just for being an NFL veteran. He did put up a couple decent seasons in the league with the Bears. And then we got George Pickens. They have the 6th best rookie receiver in the game. I think that's some respect considering that he was drafted in the 2nd round, so I'll take that. The weird one was Jay Sternberger, rated higher than Zach Gentry, so I think Gentry got disrespected there. Jay Sternberger didn't even play a snap last season, whereas Zach Gentry, I think, was a nice piece for the Steelers' offense. So bump Gentry up to like a 67, 68 at least. I think that was pretty bad. And for the rest of it, when you're talking about these Steeler players, I don't really have too many complaints. I guess Gunner maybe could be a little bit higher because he's an all-pro return man, but this rating is also for him being a receiver, so I do wonder if you put him in that punt return slot or that kick return slot, if that rating's going to get a little bit higher. But not really much else. We already went over all the key stuff. Let me know what you guys think of these ratings. Also, if you're excited for Madden 23, I actually am. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff cooking on the Deke channel for Madden in this upcoming season. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's it for this edition of Big Deke News. Stay chillin'. Peace.